Hello, I'm James Strong, director of episode 8.
And my name's Myanna Buring, and I play Scooty in episode 8.
Hi, my name's Mike Valentine, and I'm the underwater cameraman.
So this is the arrival of Rose and the Doctor in... Well, we don't know where they are yet, but it's a mystery, but it's a space station. So, and then... The big thing Russell wanted to do with this was to make it a really hard and horrible sci-fi. So it wasn't kind of...
Gritty.
Yeah, so it wasn't very kind of easy and slick. It was quite tough.
That's a bit like Aliens there, isn't it? The corridor.
Yeah. Well, we did a lot of work kind of looking at those sorts of films, Aliens and stuff.
For reference,
Yeah. And this is where the crew live and eat.
The canteen sort of area, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like a canteen area.
Yeah. And James, how come the writing was already on the wall?
Yeah.
Was that the crew that had written it there?
It's meant to be Toby, who's the
Toby.
Toby's written that. They found it,
that's
it's
it.
revealed in a bit, but they found it in the course of their drilling and explorations, and he's just been copying it on the wall for reference, I guess.
And Welcome to Hell, who wrote that?
Well, that's what they... I guess that's probably a bit of graffiti. Could have been Scooty.
It was, I think
It was Scooty with a little bit of protein one.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
bit too much protein one. She was
A bit fed up.
but here we are with the arrival of our friends.
Ooh.
Oh.
Now, they look scary, but actually, after a while, they're quite endearing.
Yeah, they are killer squids.
Yeah.
You've probably seen some of these, Mike, when you've been swimming around in the Med. This is the Ood, obviously.
The guys wearing those masks, did they feel claustrophobic at all, or were they cool with it?
Well, if they're much bigger. There we go. They're much bigger than you. Well, if you like, when you're wearing one, your eyes are at the mouth level.
Oh, really?
So, but effectively, they're blind in them. So,
right.
It's kind of weird when you forget that they can't actually see where they're going.
And asking them to hit their mark.
They had to be led. They'd be led onto set by people. Yeah, it was so sweet. You'd have these quite big. Well, you'd have these big men anyway, and then with a head even bigger.
Hurrah!
Hooray! Hooray!
Who's he?
Oh,
I don't know. Matt Jones, yeah.
Oh, dear.
I love it.
That's great.
That's the lovely Silas Carson, who does the voice of the Ood, who was
right.
wonderful actor.
Director James Strong.
Oh,
round of
that fella.
applause.
Yay.
Oh, dear.
There's Jefferson.
That's the Jefferson, who's head of security.
And these extras were amazing. They were so lovely. They just had the patience of angels. They just...
You mean the guys playing the guards? They don't last very long.
No, they don't. No.
It's always like
Kill them
the
off quickly.
person you've never seen in a Star Trek episode before, let's beam down to the planet. I haven't seen him before. Zap.
He won't last.
No.
That's lovely Billy.
Oh, look, she's brilliant.
Oh, she's so
So I think
beautiful.
it's a weirdly kind of odd environment that they find themselves in, which I think hopefully is a bit more unusual than they've ever been to. It's meant to be kind of quite a far out there place, so it's...
Yeah.
And also it's the
Start
idea that they
shaking.
meet... What I found interesting was the idea that they're meeting humans, but
Yeah.
humans who've not seen other humans outside of their group.
Yeah.
You know,
This is our first sort of...
This
bits
looks
of
great.
action.
Yeah.
The special effects and there's the control centre, which is actually the same set that you've just come from with a different colour.
Oh, is it one of those
Clever.
run to the left, run to the right?
Yeah.
Clever. Look at that, and there's a shot.
So there's our crew and there's our team. There we are.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
I love the way that you've made it almost look like an old submarine as well.
Well, that was again one of the things Russell said. Actually, was it should be claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It should feel like the doors should be heavy and hard to open. So
Right.
it's not everything's not easy to do and prefabricated and
Because that's the thing about a lot of science
submarine.
fiction, where you get this beautiful white, iridescent sort of panelling everywhere, and the
all
reality
the doors
is,
go.
and everything's like.
It's got to be because of the way you think technology advances. Some of it advances faster than others, so some bits are kind of still the same as they are now, if you like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's cool.
This was quite fun having all the actors pretending.
This was
no,
brilliant. We're literally flinging ourselves all over. Here we go, another one. Woo!
And then this,
look at
all
the
explosions.
Look
at all those effects.
It's fantastic. CO2.
It was great.
Oh, look at you, Myanna. Look.
Literally, I think we all gave ourselves whiplash after that day shooting.
Oh my goodness.
It's brilliant though. And there's Jefferson running and putting out all the fake fires.
But it's quite nice when you actually got real things exploding and banging around.
Well, it's sort of interactive for everyone in the set as well, isn't it? You know.
Absolutely. I think actually there was a funny story because I think it was Billy was holding on to something and she was jerking herself around. The thing she was holding herself onto came off.
I think a bit of the set
so she had to just kind of carry on acting. It was brilliant. We sort of had to stop ourselves laughing all the time.
Wow.
We look quite alike there, don't we, Claire?
Well, exactly. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Kind of. So we're starting to reveal what really is kind of going on here, which is this group of humans are on this base that is, we're going to see in a minute, but is kind of quite remote in there. They're on their own, isolated. So we're just meeting everybody. There's Claire Rushbrook, and that's Danny Webb.
It's me.
I want to cry. Look.
She won't be with you long. No,
don't
say that.
So look.
Don't.
No.
We're going to open something here. What opens? No.
And this is it.
Oh, look. Look at the roof. That's fantastic.
So that's our first sort of big CGI shot.
Wow. That looks great.
Incredible.
Oh, that's nice. That's great.
Did you have a really clear vision of what that black hole would look like when you started?
There were several visions of what the black hole would look like in it. It kind of went through a few different permutations.
Was it a bit of a committee thing at first?
Well, everybody's kind of got perceptions of what it is, but actually, apparently, I was being told this morning by Mike, the editor, no one actually knows what a black hole looks like. So you've kind of got the Hollywood. Well, there was a Walt Disney movie done.
Yes. I remember seeing that.
So that is kind of what everybody tends to think of as a black hole looks like. When actually, that's... But we wanted to... So I think we wanted to do something that wasn't actually immediately like... But I think that's beautiful what they've done.
It is gorgeous.
But it looks wonderful.
So that's where they were standing in front of a green screen. And Dave Houghton, who's our visual effects supervisor, was quite clear about how we got them together, and I wanted them to be related to each other, as much as possible.
I love the way they use that low angle looking up, which sort of increases the majesty of. My gosh, look at that!
So hopefully the two come together rather than you kind of cut to the CGI shot and it's there, and then
so
they're both put it in context.
It's really beautiful. I just noticed when David was breathing, he was sort of breathing steam from his mouth. I think it was quite cold that day, wasn't it? Well, we were in this huge studio, and it was quite freezing. We had lovely people who'd just run up, especially wardrobe people running up with big coats.
That's our first planet. Oh, here's our first.
Oh, he hears a voice.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Uh-oh. Behind you. Wow. Ripley.
It's great music.
Yeah. The score is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just on his head turn there. Yeah. It was fantastic. Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it's just wicked.
Look at this.
So this is where the crew explain what's happening, really, which is basically them here being called into this planet, which is orbiting a black hole by this mysterious power signal that's coming from the middle of the planet. But this is quite tricky because we had the crew, the cast are looking at something that obviously isn't there, so it's quite...
Also, eye lines and things.
Well, exactly. Everyone's eye line is sort of, we have to sort of say it's somewhere in the middle. And this was particularly, so Sean had to kind of point to something right in the middle.
It's a bit like Jurassic Park, isn't it, where all the actors have to... It's above you.
Yeah.
Well, where is it? You know, it's...
Yeah.
It looks great. These effects are fantastic.
No, the Mill have done a wonderful job with it.
It was the Mill that did it.
They do all of our special effects on Doctor Who, so they kind of do all of the... Well, the graphics department make the actual graphics, and then...
Right, and then the Mill actually just...
Yeah, and then we put them in.
Puts them together.
So I kind of... I decided I'd track on this as well.
Right. I love the blue lighting on their faces around that little podium there.
Ernie Vince, the DOP, sort of... It was great. We had talked about how the colour of the hologram has to reflect the colour on their face.
Yeah.
Which, she did. So we missed a bit of you there, love.
That's all right. I just got hit over the head.
Again.
Yeah. There I am in the background.
Look at him. He looks...
As I remember, the set as well it was great because there was loads of buttons and stuff to fiddle about with.
Yeah, not quite as many as I would have hoped. But
yeah.
Certain bits we had to get some more in, but...
Did you really? Did you?
Yeah, before you arrived that morning, we had to get...
More buttons!
Yeah, it wasn't quite as many buttons as I wanted, so we had to get loads more.
They are really helpful. They do sort of... Well, this is, the...
So here we find out about the Ood, who are a slave race.
Right. That little ball that they carry, is that like an
That's basically what they...
Speak through.
So
it's like an interpretation.
It clicks on to speaking to English.
Right.
Yeah.
This was a bit sort of upsetting because, like, of course you're acting, but Billy, or basically Rose, sort of has a go at them for supporting slavery. And the way she played it, me and Ronnie just felt really guilty afterwards. We were like, we don't really like support slaves.
Well, I think because the Oods, it works. They have a kind of, you have like a bit of sympathy for them because they are treated as slaves, really. I mean, you don't really know why, but...
And it's taken for granted that, you know, they just make your food and clean for you and do chores and...
So this is
great.
Yeah.
Kind of getting to the grips of all the story and stuff.
Yeah.
But you're kind of working out who's who and who's what and who's...
Yeah. I love the way the Doctor is straight to the moral point there. Like, all start the war. That's great.
So that's the guy who was doing all the paintings earlier. He did all that.
And he heard the voice.
Yeah,
in the corridor.
He heard the voice.
Zoop. That's nice as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice when the interactive stuff works.
Yeah.
So it's like normal, really. It's not a big deal. It's kind of just their technology.
Well, it's like we look at a television now and think nothing of it, but 30 years ago, people were like, "Oh, what's that?" Colour.
You're giving him a hug. It's just brilliant. You're a nutter. Bless you.
He's a bit shy.
I know.
Nice to have an ensemble cast to work with, actually. It doesn't usually happen. Tends to be one or two people there. So this was quite weird having a dozen people on set every day from the crew. So here we find out there's a bit of the TARDIS may have problems.
Been blown off the ship.
So we only actually had one bit of corridor.
Okay.
So we had to kind of...
So it's that old trick.
So that's the same room they just come from.
And then again,
and then the back
again. Yeah. But that works, doesn't it?
Yeah. I
think
it's
cool.
absolutely... It's brilliant. The art department were kind of very clear about making sure all the doors' numbers were different, so you didn't... But you just change the angle and change the direction, and then you look like you're in another...
Yeah, exactly. It's like there at the end, you had a slightly lower camera angle. And I think that worked very well. That's great.
So this was quite a tricky one because you're going to see Rose looking out of the porthole.
Right.
So we had to do the green screen for her for that bit, and then... So that's what she's looking at, that wasn't there.
Right, yeah.
So there so Rose is just in that little, can't see on the telly,
Kinda-
but she's in that little hole, and that's a CGI shot pulling out.
That looks lovely. I love the way you've done that.
So he's lost the TARDIS, which is the first time ever, I think.
Gosh. You put something down for 10 minutes.
Exactly. Turn around and it's gone.
It's quite devastating because suddenly, you know, the gravity of the situation become that the people on the ship are already facing. Suddenly, the Doctor and the Rose find themselves in the same predicament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know,
Well, he's not a time that he can't do anything. He can't just get on his TARDIS and fly away.
Exactly.
He's
No,
in the same
absolutely.
exactly,
situation as they are.
absolutely.
So it kind of pits them together, really, which is...
Absolutely. So
I
suddenly,
love every single sound effect is brilliant.
Fantastic.
Even if you don't notice it, every door when it opens says an open door 1, open door
Yeah.
2, and the sound guys, Paul and Tim, did an amazing job about
the,
making every
oh,
every rattle
rattling.
and every
Yeah. That's so
shake.
important. Sound is almost like a character, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah,
In a lot of productions where, okay, they always say that you shouldn't notice good lighting, good sound, but if they're not up to standard,
then you do.
yeah.
yeah.
I remember working on Doctor Who when I was a young lad in 1972 and helping with the sound effects. And in the dubbing studio with Patrick Troughton as Doctor Who and that, dragging paving stones to make
gosh.
scraping sounds.
Brilliant.
How old are you, Mike?
53.
Oh, bless you.
Isn't that amazing?
So this is that's
So what happens here?
This
So-
is the ballroom where
Oh,
the drilling goes on. What they're doing. So.
yeah.
I love
Great
the music
choice. The
here
music
as
Ravel's
well.
Bolero.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
and then we've got I
This
think
is
one
so
of your
cool.
shots coming up, Myanna. And then-
Yeah.
So this is a location actually, and there we are. So this was the quarry. It's our first
So this is
quarry.
an exterior. Did
Yeah.
you do this at night?
This is at night.
Wow.
It's my first day filming.
Yeah.
First night filming.
Should I say
It's an
Outland?
amazing spacesuit to wear. I mean, it was
looks
literally
great.
like having a fishbowl on your
Yeah.
head.
Were
It
you
was-
claustrophobic inside there at all?
No. It's,
Really?
yeah, you just kind of relax and don't stress about it. And it was and the spacesuit was so intricate as well. They had the most ridiculous amounts of measurements for it.
Luckily, by the time you got to you, we'd worked out a way where I could hear you, and
Yeah.
you could hear me, and you could talk to me. Because when we first got them on, it was like,
Oh, yeah, because
right,
Problem.
can't actually hear anything.
Yeah.
Which was all right, but it's even worse with this. Like when David Tennant and Claire Russell were acting with each other, and now they could hear. They had the helmets on.
so they're that close to each other.
Yeah. Well, you'll see it later. That
Yeah.
So Richard Spence, the Sandman, was brilliant about working a system where you could hear each other. With a microphone. Was it you had a microphone in your ear or something?
Yeah, you had a microphone
And an earpiece.
inside the helmet.
So you could
that's
hear the
fixed
person
inside.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So here, there's the things start to go very.
Oh,
I love the design of these sets. The
great.
kind of metalwork
Yeah.
and
yeah,
the
the way
yellow
they're lit as well. It's just
the yellow that kind of works everywhere.
this is the meeting.
This is a canteen. Did you actually try any of this food?
Yeah, I know Danny had a bite.
Did he?
He did. I think he regretted it.
If you see anybody actually eating anything, you
was-
win a prize.
look at that.
I mean, what was it? Was it beans and
I think it's.
it's just coloured beans and
coloured
and it
beans.
was coloured mash as well. The blue and the green stuff was mash.
We haven't really got the really weird coloured ones there, but
No, we didn't really see that. But there was also like blue and green mash. Quite vile. Wow. Look at them little blinking eyes.
so we only had one of the models has
Actually,
Yeah.
the eyes and the mouth move and stuff. So
right, articulated.
whenever you see a close up, it's kind of
Yeah. Was that a radio control?
yeah. So you've got the guy inside acting away, and then
The guy
the
operating.
guy operating the
That's
eyes, and
So impressive. And there
they're
he's,
brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
they've had their malfunction or something bizarre speaking through them.
So this is a nice combination of the sort of the real, and then with it.
Yeah,
Oh.
something not
Oops.
quite right.
So there's something a little bit
Uh-oh.
unpleasant.
Funny.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's like everything's kind of slightly off kilter, slowly but surely.
I love that cut.
Yeah.
I love the way you've gone from the porthole to that magnified.
Very much.
Uh-oh.
So this is great. You've got the voice of Gabriel, who plays the villain, but he's got this amazing. He was actually in Doctor Who 35 years ago as the voice of Sutek,
Oh, right.
Brilliant.
and
I love the tension of this, the way it builds up. Don't look back, don't look back. Blatantly. Is he going to look back?
but what an amazing voice he's got.
Superb.
This lovely sort of old chap came into the office, the room, and he started speaking this
Wonderful
voice. Because during the production, I had to read in.
Oh, were you reading for them?
So I know this verbatim. In fact,
Oh, really?
I read it for about 5 weeks. I read every single.
Oh, no.
There's no one there.
Don't look back!
Back. And now I love the way you use that top shot as well.
It's great. We had a crane that day, so we kind of
Yeah.
swung it over the.
It just takes it away from the normal level where the camera
Yeah.
would be. That's so cool. Production value.
This is when it all starts.
No
There.
writings,
Oh.
no plots.
Oops. What's going to happen? It doesn't look good. Hands are all right.
Oh no.
Ah!
It's entered your body.
No.
But quite terrifying, actually, waking up.
Oh, it's
with
horrible.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
basically, we're talking about
Oh, look at that.
And
possession. So he's
again,
got
the amount of
this-
time that took to put on, it took
Wow.
Took 3 hours?
Yeah, it took
He's
hours.
wearing
so he's got red
contacts.
contact lenses in,
Yeah.
and
Tattoos.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and they spoke over. They had like these sort of like intercom sort of
Yeah, so
watches.
there's a mixture of sort of quite high tech, Star Trek,
Yeah.
modern sci-fi stuff.
They were great. They were brilliant.
Wow, look at this. Back to the.
A lot of this stuff felt like you were a kid
Beautiful.
playing, on these amazing sets. Lots of
Really?
things to fiddle with, and
All the
little props.
controls
Yeah, it was
and-
Oh, it's
brilliant.
everybody's
Fantastic.
fantasy, it's
Yeah,
like you've all seen these, growing up on these amazing Star Wars and stuff, and then
absolutely.
here we are, kind of doing it, and it's great.
Yeah, it was.
That's the beautiful.
It's gorgeous, huh?
That is a lovely effect. It really is.
Yeah. It's quite, that sort of thing that they keep watching all this universes sort of die in front of them.
Now, Myanna, you're leaving. Where are you going to check something?
I'm leaving, yes.
Oh.
Where?
Oh.
It's a heart-to-heart little chat.
I love this scene actually with these two. They're really
Yeah.
Yeah.
their interaction and the way they kind of are with each other is brilliant, and
Yeah.
the writing's brilliant, and they make it sound really normal and
Yeah.
kind of, and yet you can tell they're kind of how deep their relationship is and how much they mean to each other.
Yeah.
And they're both such brilliant actors.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's superb.
joy.
I love
This
that.
is a really gorgeous chemistry.
Yeah.
It's sort of really tangible. And it's great, the sort of the humour despite the adversity. Trying to smile and laugh through.
That's a lovely shot. Look.
Yeah.
So that was a bit. We did that about a week after we shot the rest of the scene.
Oh, just to drop that. To drop that in.
Yeah, I don't know quite why. I think we must have been up against it
Yeah, as usual.
as ever.
You can never open another can of time, can
No.
you?
No.
There's never. No, sadly, the Time Lord can't help us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Could never help us with that. But that one was. They were about 15 foot up in the air.
To get that lovely
Yeah, and if you look, they're very much cheated together.
across to each other. Yeah.
But actually, you don't, because we shot the rest of it on long lenses.
but
You
it
don't
doesn't
really
look. It looks cool.
notice, which is,
Yeah, I don't think you notice at all. This is what's so lovely, when they really started to develop CGI, computer-generated images, the story, the script, would just fall away as we have more effects on the big screen.
It should be
and
the
what I
other
love
way
about
around.
Doctor Who is the way that it's a very human level, but with a great... I mean, look at this. Oh, fantastic.
Well, they're still... they might be set in outer space or wherever, but they're still stories basically about humans.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Human beings. And
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Now, that's 12 ood made to look like...
Oh, did you
50.
double them up? And
Incredible.
Quadrupled them up.
quadrupled
actually.
them up, right.
But I got told off, actually, when we first did that, because it took a little bit longer to do four lots than so
actually-
the plan was to do 2, and then kind of thought it wasn't
But
enough.
it's worth it, isn't it?
So Phil Collinson, the producer, was phoning the set going, well, how are we doing 4?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm really sorry, I just thought it looked good.
because it was.
But I think,
Oh, it's worth it.
I would say it, but it does... I think, you can see there's a lot of them now.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Sometimes you need the volume, and it's sort of.
Yeah.
Did you ever come to this location?
No, I didn't. So it's quite interesting for me to see because there are quite a few locations that I didn't
Of
see.
course, yeah. So this is actually an old chemical works in Pontypridd. We found it like the day before the recce, so about 2 days before we started shooting. So,
Wow. So you were able to use some of the original...
so it's to be honest, not much we haven't done. It was amazingly. We've searched high. I mean, if you read the script, it was how we'd ever find that sort of a location, really.
Yeah.
And actually, we found this place
Which is perfect.
perfect.
Wow.
And we didn't have to do very much. That's like the first level of this
Yeah.
chemical works, and then it had all these platforms and levels, and we just kind of extended them and blocked off a few areas, and it all kind of worked. But it was amazing, and that was cold.
Yeah, that must have been
Of
freezing.
course, it would have been completely unheated.
Yeah,
And
it had
what
been-
time of the year were you shooting
This was
this?
February, so
Oh, coldest month of the year.
so it was freezing in there.
Yeah.
Oh, and here she's come, innocent.
And can an angel fly so low?
Oh, stop.
Look at that.
Here she hears the door closing, and it's
Whoops.
not quite right. So she goes to
Ooh, where
check
are
it
you
out.
going, Myanna? Be careful.
What's my job? I'll go check it out.
Did you have a voice? for the
Yeah, I
computer?
did. I did. I think it was.
It wasn't me, was it?
No, it
I
was a first AD.
Was that Gareth?
Yeah.
Just helps you, doesn't it? Just
Yeah. But it's a female voice now.
Now it's
When we
the
shot
voice
it was...
of the edit assistant, I think, the lovely Solis. who,
Look, I get to use the cool watch.
That's a very good computer watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there we go.
uh-oh.
No, something's not right.
That's funny. This is the longest shot in the whole episode, I think. We
Really?
don't cut away. You can,
At all.
it kind of holds in one,
Because
You
I
can
remembered
hold
my
it.
lines.
which is all very
That's
good.
it. This is bizarre. And then she decides to go and look.
Go and look out the window.
Why do they do this?
I wouldn't do
Always.
that.
Every horror film.
I know, every time.
Yeah, there's danger down that
Every
corridor. Don't go there. Uh-oh.
And this was shot.
Well, Toby's stuff with Will Thorpe was shot.
It was shot
2
the same
weeks
time.
before.
Yeah, same time we did my spacesuit scene.
Yeah.
Really?
So he's outside
Yeah.
with no air.
And that day was freezing for him as well, out in this amazing huge quarry, but in that little T-shirt, bless him. And there was this wind machine blowing sand into his eyes, and because of the contact lenses, he was having to hold his eyes open with just sand being blasted into them.
So you had the easy bit.
Yeah, I did. He had an endurance test. All I had to do was
So
cry
this-
and scream a bit.
Uh-oh.
No!
Great.
And there was no glass there, obviously, so
Yeah.
that was all.
So that's in post.
So it's
Yeah.
a big
Production.
mix of CGI, three
Right.
different locations, and then the crack effects.
And we did film me actually sort of doing a backwards leap, which obviously must have looked a bit weird.
I think
'cause we
actually
didn't-
what it wasn't you. It was unfortunately the door handle wobbled a bit.
Ah,
Oh.
So it we try and make sure anything looks like
Yeah, exactly.
the
Can't really-
set's not 100%
solid.
solid.
Yeah.
We sort of
Yeah.
were quite rigorous about cutting it out.
Yeah.
I look at them now. What incredible sort of
So-
tension is built up. Drama, that's the word I'm looking for. High drama. And now... Look, all the tattoos have disappeared.
They've disappeared and his eyes are
Yeah.
normal.
Oh dear, someone's missing.
Scooty.
Yeah, you can shout, but she can't hear you. Yep.
Ah, they've gone.
You've seen, he knows something's not right.
So, Mike, how much did you didn't know much about the story then when you came,
Absolutely
came
nothing.
to do this little bit coming up?
Because although we've worked
Does
on
that
many
matter?
films, in a way, actually, it's nice not to know, because then you don't really have a preconceived idea. And then working with a great directors such as yourself, I can actually say, what else do I have to read out? I know I can actually say,
It's 50 quid on the
yeah, thank you. I can actually say, oh, could we do it this way? And then you might say, actually, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm enjoying watching it.
See
it's
how it's
like,
gonna fit in
Oh
with
no, absolutely! It's so exciting.
So, Scooty's missing. I wonder where she is.
And the doctor
And
notices
of course,
first.
David is there. Oh no! Oh, Myanna.
And that's what we shot underwater in Pinewood.
By Mike.
Yeah, by Mike.
All
That's Mike's shot.
Look at that! But it works really well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of... Uh-oh.
Oh, she did.
So, how deep was that, Mike?
Right. Underwater against a black background, Myanna is at about 15 feet underwater. So actually, with all my experience, there are very few actresses who can turn up on a set, go down underwater, take the regulator away, be tied down, take a mask off, be half blind, and then start acting. And it's fantastic. I mean, she did such a great job.
It was such fun though to do. It was
Yeah.
amazing, such a laugh, because we'd actually had the wrap party the night before we shot that scene. So
Wow, so you-
it was kind of the final thing to do. But because it was such, we went to an underwater pool. It was a new environment. It was so exciting, and
And also, you could hear underwater.
Yeah,
the,
it's
Francoise talking to you.
exactly. Rasmus was the first AD and worked with Mike all the time. Well,
Yeah. All the time.
all the time.
All the time.
And lovely, lovely lady. And really, she just speaks in this really calm voice, and you can hear her underwater really clearly. It's an amazing sound system. You said it was used by NASA, was that right?
To train the astronauts in the underwater tank that they use.
I think we used all the three different types of shot we did. We used them all, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
The three variations. We did the big pullback and the
Yeah.
close-up spin and then the...
But it's great to
one.
have Doctor Who there when literally we'd be doing... if we were doing Star Wars, we would have done a little bit underwater, which we did on Star Wars Episode 1. We'd have used the same facility.
Yeah.
So to go from Star Wars with its mega budget to Doctor Who with a smaller budget, but look how many millions of people will be watching this and enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
We're back in Pontypridd here.
Okay.
With the spacesuit.
nice.
The spacesuits.
Look at David. He's really going for it. Again, you pick up on the fact that although this is futuristic and set in the future, but things really look used and gritty and, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The ones the places that what I like about this is it looks like a real place. Well, it is a real place, obviously, but
But it looks like it's people actually live and work
Yeah.
there, as opposed to...
and that place there where they're standing is
Yes.
exactly next to where they've just been. You see what I mean? That platform on the right hand side is the the platform that Doctor was just standing on.
Brilliant.
Do you ever, under the pressure of a shoot, actually think, hang on a minute, you can't actually run to the left because later on...
You have to be reminded by the art department
Yeah,
who go,
who's
we
saying,
can't see that.
"You can't
so
do
that's the actual platform we see when it goes down in the wide shot again.
Okay.
But
What was that
they've
shot
CG
in?
they've CGI'd that, the rest of the cavern. That was all in the set.
Oh, wow.
And this is a real crane dropping them?
It's actually a forklift truck.
Oh, a forklift
dropping
truck.
there. So that's
Gosh, how clever.
so the
works.
capture's rested on there, and then they cut to the CGI'd shot, which is the
Just to give it that
actual capsule.
depth.
So they're now descending to the centre of the planet, which is a little capsule.
Looks like the DOP's got little LEDs.
They've got little lights in the helmet,
Wow.
which
Yeah.
That's
and especially
great.
in a minute when they get down the bottom, they look fantastic. So you've got the capsule going down, and you've got so you've got a mixture of all the CGI, the graphics, the actors, the real stuff, all
bringing
kind of
it
in
all
together.
Yeah.
All hopefully like it's all one thing, really. And the music is great as well. It's a lot of orchestral stuff in this episodes, which are kind of great.
You know what's so nice? That it's not the old-fashioned sort of music which would be created on a little synthesizer. It's
No,
actually...
it's a full-on orchestra.
live instruments,
yeah.
you know.
I think that's what's so special about the whole programme, actually, is that it has that epic feel.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are...
And this is, en masse, this is terrifying.
So there's
And
50.
this is-
So there's only actually over 12 of them.
Yeah.
Now, but we,
Wow.
And also,
that actually works better than we ever imagined.
Well, it looks fantastic. It really works.
it's just the synchronised movements. It's great.
Well, they're all dancers, so that's why they were kind of all very.
Oh, really? Is that how you cast them? As
Well, no, I think they do a lot. I think of work on the series, and they're so adept at
well, their
adapting
body
their movements to
and-
whatever the characters.
Yeah.
Are. So we worked with them in rehearsals about how they were going to move, and so here we are now at the Quarry, which is a very
This is...
amazing place, really.
Incredible. A gravity globe.
Do you know, just the other day in the attic, I was looking at something.
And you found a
If
gravity
I'd
globe.
had the gravity globe, I could have
There it is.
seen-
I wonder where that was.
That's very clever.
So this is a Quarry, which obviously Doctor Who of old.
Used to use, is it?
So there was a lot of
old bits of bobs?
trepidation, if you like,
Yeah.
going back to a Quarry. But obviously the main thing they did then, which we did that they couldn't do, which was we could film at night.
Yes.
So obviously it's a Quarry, but you wouldn't know where you were, to be honest.
Yeah.
'Cause it's-
No.
You'd never see it at night. In fact,
No.
we hadn't seen it at night until the night we filmed it. So
Wow.
thankfully it looked
It works.
Yeah.
it looked amazing. I mean, I love it. It looks so.
But you're right. Every episode that I remember was always daytime in the Quarry, you know, and that sort of...
Yeah.
But that's that great sense of scale.
Exactly.
And,
And the boulders, they're enormous.
Yeah,
aren't
I
they?
mean, are you in a giant cave or, you know,
Well,
you could be anywhere.
Exactly.
It
yeah.
looks... Wow.
And this is where they couldn't hear each other, so they actually had to anticipate each
Well,
other's
by this
lines.
time, I think we'd worked out
that's-
That
system where
This
they could,
is
Oh, that's
great.
good.
So you got a bit of
That's amazing.
CGI there. Just
Yeah, so they've that's a
blinking
map
Blinking
painting.
eyes.
Yeah, matte painting just to give the sense of scale.
Ronnie getting suspicious.
Uh-oh. He's looking at me.
This is so it's all starting to get
Yeah.
very uncomfortable for everybody. It's quite hard. The script is kind of quite disparate in terms of you've got them talking in that one set, them talking in one set, and them.
Right.
That's why I spent most of the shooting reading in other people's lines
Yeah, just to help.
over a microphone, not just into this one. So a lot of it is shot out of sequence, which is kind of fairly normal, but
Yeah.
it always makes it.
But you still got to get your head around what's going on in the story
Always
and
forget
story
little
order.
bits and sort of remember what
Yeah.
everybody said and how everybody said and how you
And their
framed it.
performance and
So that they'll-
yeah.
yeah. Wow,
That's a fantastic shot.
It's just beautiful.
That's
Really
beautiful. It really
yeah.
is.
Really beautiful. In fact, I mentioned the sort of the spacesuits, but in fact, all of the costumes are really interesting as well. Just how real they are.
And Louise Page was absolutely fantastic, the costume designer. She was brilliant. Because together, kind of, again, modern to us, and but they're believable. They could be science fiction in the future.
Getting that balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just all the colours and we kind of talked about the palette of the costumes, so they wouldn't be. They're all the similar kind of darks and blacks and browns and khakis and stuff.
And just sort of practical stuff.
Yeah.
But I had a great belt and some brilliant boots.
Lots of makeup here for Toby.
So they can see him now, obviously. Look at that.
So this is quite. We had to shoot this scene in a funny order because, well, you're seeing him. The makeup kind of comes off and on.
Oh, right. How long did it take for him to have all of that applied?
3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
3 hours.
So he was in it sometimes 4:30 in the morning, 5 in the
Really?
morning to get
Really?
ready for us
That's
at
why
8.
people don't see the glamour, do they? You know,
No.
they think, oh,
No, I don't. I was in bed.
yeah, quite right.
Well, that's him, and that's also, makeup.
And obviously
It
never
has
worn
to be
contact
awake.
lenses before. It was kind of. It's just pop them straight in. I love all the bits of steam actually in the background of the set,
Behind,
yeah,
it's all that
which is all the sets we had them. So there's.
Oh, that's really dark.
Ah.
And
Uh-oh.
into the ood.
Uh-oh.
And then it's gone. So
So it's all...
we can have to shoot that bit after.
Yeah, so you shot that bit first, and then
I think we started with the tattoos on.
yeah.
'Cause then it took like 10 minutes to wash it off.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you
So
want,
quick to take off,
but
obviously.
once they're off, obviously we can't put
No,
them back
another
on. So
3
you have to make
hours.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you've got everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Synchronised. They're brilliant. That's really dark. Yep.
So they're all speaking as one.
As one. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Blinky.
And now they're
Oh,
on the
dear.
move.
Uh-oh.
These lovely ood.
So that's quite a tricky manoeuvre going up the stairs. And they're blind.
Without being
able to
With
see,
With
yes.
one-handed with the ball and.
Yeah.
In his hand.
And at that speed, actually,
Yeah,
that's
and they-
quite. The pace is.
Oh, dear.
So that's the end of
That's got to hurt.
one of our guards.
That is quite terrifying. And these are really small sets, actually, that they're working
Yeah, they're
in,
kind
aren't
of
they?
claustrophobic, so they're going to.
Yeah. Well, not this one. This is quite a large.
So you see the snow on the ground there? It was actually snowing.
Yeah, I
We're
heard
very lucky.
that.
But just that shot really is the only one you can see there's snow.
But you don't really.
ground.
It doesn't
Yeah.
really pick up as snow,
No, we had-
register as snow.
They rewrote the script in case it snowed, so we can actually work
cover
film-
yourself.
so we
Oh,
could
wow.
film
Right.
on. But
Yeah.
it miraculously kept quite clear for us and stuff. So
Aha, the roof
so
is
everything's
opening.
kind of falling apart now. It's all going wrong.
Very wrong.
And the actors here had to sort of pretend to.
Sway around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah,
and then they're
fall.
firing real rocks at them as well, and
Oh, really?
You are-
yeah, and everybody's chucking them at them. So
oh, what fun it is to do Doctor Who.
Oh, my God.
No, it's brilliant.
this is quite scary because they're trapped.
Yeah.
So some of these scenes are literally just shaking the camera.
Yeah, some of them were shaking the camera, and then and then you put a digital effect on afterwards.
Yeah,
So it's
digital
probably
effects.
usually a bit of both, but
Yeah.
you kind of can't really get. Well, there's a debate about it, but I actually can't doing it in camera, and the cameraman's
No, it doesn't
shaking.
look... It doesn't look quite right, does it?
Well, it can
So-
do, but I think sometimes it can, and it's if it's quite tight, then I think they do look all right actually.
Yeah, when you're really wide.
Yeah, because obviously if you move the picture too much, you can't
Exactly.
digitally move it. So
Yeah.
actually, and then that was our.
Oh, that's a dose.
So they're stood on the cliff above.
Oh, what's going to
So-
happen?
Wow.
So we don't know what happens.
Oh,
but,
to be continued.
so that's the end of the first
How
part. Episode
exciting.
Oh, it's exciting. It really is. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Look at that.
So it's good to see all the. It's weird seeing all the team who worked so hard on it. And
It
how
is,
they all
because
are.
I was just saying, because, we did this February, and it's now June.
Yeah. So 5-6 months for 2 episodes.
It's incredible.
The work.
Kinda
So
takes-
6 months flies by in
Look at all those graphics guys
3D people.
Yeah,
Look at
amazing.
2D.
who've
Look at
worked so
that.
hard.
Yes.
So I think, the National Orchestra of Wales. That's who.
Lovely.
That's who
Really?
do the score.
Well, it sounds great. It
So
really
it's,
does.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And the
That's all-
makeup,
that's
it was
lovely
just
muscle.
phenomenal.
Julie? And I think there's a little tease here. Can I know what
Ooh.
happens
Is
next
that?
week?
She's gone too.
Oh dear.
And that's the chase is on.
Uh-oh. No.